What do you say, guys? Welcome to the Cubs baseball channel. Signs continue to point from Toronto that they're out on Cody Bellinger. And we talked about this a couple of days ago, but I want to reinforce the fact that if they're out, then the market really starts to point to Bellinger returning to the Chicago Cubs. And I know a lot of you guys, including me, want to see that. Want to see him come back after the performance that he had in 2023 and be a long-term fixture for the Cubs. We're going to talk about that. The Cubs did make a signing, another small one, that could affect the big league roster, could be another AAA guy that is waiting in the wings. We'll get into all of that, but first, let me remind you that we love the fact that you're here, not waiting in the wings, on the Cubs baseball channel. Like and subscribe, and let's get this thing started. Go Cubs! What do you say, everybody? Mick Gillispie here on the Cubs baseball channel, on the socials at Broadcaster Mick. And it is great to see you. And hopefully you're off to a really fast start to New Year's. All right, let's get into this. I talked about it the other day, but even some more reports coming out of Toronto that I think point to the Cubs being the number one destination. Now, don't count out the Giants, and I've said that before as well, but the Cubs being the number one contender for Cody Bellinger. And within the last couple of weeks, the Blue Jays, who were trying to get Shohei Ohtani, just like the Cubs, and seemed to be more of a serious contender for Ohtani than the Cubs, went out and signed Kevin Kiermaier, who is a Gold Glove winning center fielder, multiple Gold Gloves. And then you say, okay, well, you know, there's still maybe another chance. Well, then they signed Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who's an infielder, outfielder guy. He can do both. Well, if that's not enough, all the rumors are now that the Blue Jays are looking hard at Jock Peterson to add to their roster to help with that left-handed pop from the plate. And maybe they can get him at a discounted price because he struggled last year after having some injuries with the Giants. And maybe he's a guy that the Cubs could end up with. But, you know, the bottom line is that signs continue to point that the Blue Jays are out on Bellinger. And I really feel like they are. And I know some of you guys will get in the comment section and some Blue Jays fans come and hang. And, hey, you guys are welcome to be here. I just don't think you were ever really serious about spending the $200 million or around that on Cody Bellinger. I think you were very serious about spending $700 million for Shohei Ohtani because you realize what the international impact of that money would be, right? And it ended up being the Dodgers. So just interesting. The race seems to be right now the Cubs and the Giants, maybe the Angels if you want to go and lose, but you would play with Mike Trout. You could go there. Just seems like the natural fit, though, is Bellinger being the face of the Cubs. And if you're the Cubs and you sign Cody Bellinger, you can put him on billboards. You can put him on the side of the stadium. He's on your program. He's, you know, everything that you do, he's the face of the team. And the fans love him. I mean, he is a fan favorite. They like the way he plays. They like the energy and excitement he brings to the game. He's a really popular guy with the Cubs. So that was something that I wanted to talk about. Now, the Cubs did make a signing. This isn't going to knock your socks off, but they sign Colten Brewer. Now, who is Colten Brewer? Colten Brewer is a pitcher who maybe is the next Cubs, throw him in the pitch lab and he finally figures it out at the big leagues guy. he's been back and forth between AAA and the big leagues for years. Came up with the Pirates, broke into the big leagues with the Padres in 2018. And it's not like anything that he really has done besides 2019 with the Red Sox would really be attention getting. He pitched for the Padres in 2018 and in 11 games had a 5.59 ERA and a win. 5 total games, by the way, or excuse me, 11 total games and finished 5 of them, right? Boston in 2019, that was his season. Pitched in 58 games for the Sox that year and had a respectable 4.12 ERA. Problem is he walks a lot of guys. That season in 54 innings, he walked 34. He struck out 52. So, 1 per inning, which is crazy to me. Talking about Boston is that when Roger Clemens was doing that back in the day, it was a big deal. And now, you strike out 20% of over 20% of the batters and you're not, well, you're okay. You're a strikeout guy, but you're not, it's just nuts where the game is on that right now. He came back in 2020 in that shortened year and pitched in 11 games and had an earned run average of over 5.5. Pitched a little bit for Boston in 2021, 1 game, got rocked, and then went to the Yankees and, or made it to the big leagues with the Yankees and pitched in 3 games last year. The thing you look at with him, though, is stints with Kansas City's AAA team, the Yankees AAA team last year, and he does some good stuff. I mean, he had a 1.35 ERA for Scranton Wilkes-Barre in 15 games last year, and that got him called up to the major leagues, right? He's got good stuff. If the Cubs could figure out how to get the walks down and to get him to throw more strikes in his career in those 5 seasons that he's pitched, or parts of 5 seasons, he's walked 61 batters in 99 innings. He's also struck out 92. So, maybe they look at him and they say, hey, you know what? This is a guy who we feel like we throw in the pitch lab. Maybe we work on this or that. And all of a sudden he becomes a viable option. They like his arm, and they've done a really good job of that with going out and finding pitchers and signing them, sometimes grabbing them off of waivers. And then finding a spot for him. I mean, and think about Merriweather. I mean, he turned out to be one of the best pitchers they have. But that's kind of how baseball is right now. As guys try to figure out, you only have 40 spots on your, on your roster, and you're saying, well, you know what, we got to keep this guy and this one. So hopefully Colten Brewer is a guy that the Cubs bring in and they figure out something with. And the other thing is, it's been the offseason of Brewer, right? Because, well, not him, but Brewers, right? The Cubs went and signed the Brewers manager to be the Cubs manager, right? Craig Counsell. And then now we're signing Colten Brewer. Yeah, 2 totally unrelated Brewers, but I just thought it was funny to bring that up. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us here on the Cubs Baseball Channel. It's still very quiet. I feel like this is the calm before the storm. And hopefully we'll have something to break in and give you some live coverage. Like if they find out they're going to sign Cody Bellinger, we'll be here to talk about it. Get in that comment section. Who do you guys feel like is the best Cubs pitcher that the Cubs have signed as kind of a AAA type free agent or claimed off of waivers in the last 5 years? That's your homework assignment. So get in there. Tell me what you think. Thanks for hanging out with us. And I also want to remind everyone that the channel right now is presented by the Tennessee Smokies. The Smokies team store has some great swag, including this. They won their first championship in 45 years this season. And the team will get their championship rings during spring training out in Arizona. So I'm planning on being out there. So if you guys are out there, make sure that you come by and holler at me. But go by the Smokies team store, pick up some of the great swag. prices that I think are going to be very comfortable for your wallet, whether it's Cubs gear, Smokies gear, or if you collect autographs. They've got autograph memorabilia from some of the guys that are the top prospects in the Cubs system, game-worn jerseys and game-used bats and balls. They got a lot of cool stuff over there. It's one of the best team stores in minor league baseball. So we appreciate them for being part of the channel. Thanks for hanging out with us. Go Cubs.